fit.
You're a blueberry Pop-Tart.
Blueberry. Nice. I can
You're,
live
um,
with
Blue on blue.
Strawberry.
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 With sprinkles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that we've all got
First question, what
favorite
Pop-Tart are you
what
and
Pop-Tart
why?
are you?
And what does it represent about your life?
We are here for quality
Talbot's
journalism.
fruity.
I am fruity.
So to start this off, I just want to ask the question that everyone's been wanting the answer to. And it's, what's up with the funky pants?
The funky pants.
There's always funky pants.
You know what? I didn't even realize back in the day necessarily that I wore funky pants. So it started on the golf course back in the day. And then it just materialized through that, and then it materialized into me showing up at like golf events and saying, people looking at me and saying, do you know how good of a putter you have to be to wear pants like this? Because if you're not,
you're just a goof.
Well, you're gonna hear it all day long. You know what I mean? So you gotta know.
Do you use golf as a way to get away from this side of things, or does it kind of all weave together?
Well, I mean, ideally, golf would be a getaway, but if you've ever played golf, you know that it's really contained within these 5 inches between your ears. So, but I do. Like I feel at home on a golf course as I do in a restaurant, which is crazy because I've spent the majority of my life from a young age in a restaurant and on a golf course. But I'm much better at the restaurant business than I am
in the golf business.
Course.
I don't know. I've heard you're a quality golfer.
Yeah.
Even featured in a commercial at one point.
That's true. Titleist did something about me before the 2016 U.S. Open, and that was cool. That was just about growing the game, and I'm all into that as well. And anything that's gonna.
So we got disc golf over there. We've got cornhole. When can we expect like the putting green or the chipping range to come in back here in this giant forest behind us?
Yeah, man, we got a lot of space back here to do a lot of things in the next, however many years it's gonna take. I believe that by the end of next spring, the parking lots will be in, the stormwater management will be in, and then we're just gonna do as much as we can back here. So
do all
possibly,
the fun stuff.
Yeah, whatever that may be. I think a ramen bar back in the woods would be pretty cool.
No shit.
Right? Why would you not do something
Absolutely,
like
it
that?
would be.
Why not?
Because nobody expects that to happen.
So speaking of nobody expecting anything like this, last time we were here, I looked up the footage date. It was September 29th, 2018. You guys had just opened like a year ago, maybe? Not even?
Yeah.
Less than a year ago?
A year and 4 months.
We wouldn't be out here right now 4 years ago. So take us through what's changed since we were here.
Well, how about this? So good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming back to do this.
Absolutely.
The amount of growth in that time, you start something and you have an idea, right? I want to do all this, but what gets in the way of that? I mean, everything, right? Money gets in the way of that, business, COVID could have got in the way of that.
Yeah.
But at each step, I just kept, my idea was to take not all the money, but the money you make and put it all back in, and we've been continually doing that. So the last time you were here, the patio, it had, some of the posts.
Yeah, it was just going in.
And that's it. And then we had just welded the steel frame for Osiris the night before you got here, right? Because it had to be done and I had to get something. And now it's a pergola structure, so it's a louvered roof over the entire patio and then remote control blinds.
What now?
Yeah, you know what louvers are, right? So like this, and they go to 180 degrees. So that's the whole roof. And it can be one roof or 6 independent roofs. And then there's all the way around is remote control blinds, which somewhat weatherproofs it for, here, Western Pennsylvania for 8 months. But just the next idea of what can be cool and what's going to make more people want to come here to get what Bryce and everybody else in my kitchen is putting together, because it is really good.
It takes quite the inspired and dedicated crew to make this happen. And so much so that they've even started their own spin-off series.
Yes, they have.
The Terrace.
The Terrace, right?
So what's it mean to you to be able to cultivate an environment like that?
Well, the simple base of it is just to be able to sit down with my chef and write specials on a weekly basis that we enjoy, it's not, we don't have to hit certain price points. We're not writing them for, any specific idea. That we're just writing them for the feel that we have for our clientele, which just makes the creativity be unbelievable. And there's no walls or there's no breakdowns in there. So when Bryce and I are able to sit down and I give him free reign to do whatever he wants to do, and then we just kind of rap back and forth, man. It's cool. You know, it is.
I would love to be in on one of those.
Now, we've seen a lot of weird stuff on the menu, and we've had a lot of weird stuff on the menu. We are frequent, to break the fourth wall, we are frequent Talbot customers.
Oh, yeah, I was here yesterday.
I live here. I live over there. What would you say in the 4 years since we've been here is some of the highlights and weirdest things that have been on that specials menu? Just to give people some examples of what they're missing out on.
Things you're most proud of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, mistakes are what teach us the most in life, right? So
I am a mistake.
We ran a 36-ounce ribeye that was to be
with the bone.
With the so 36-ounce bone-in ribeye. So it started off as a tomahawk with the large bone, and we were supposed to have that for a week. And we sold out of all the ones that we got within 28 hours. So then we had to figure out what we were going to do for the rest of the week. So then we got full prime ribs, and then we cut them down into 36-ounce ribeyes, and then that started the craze of 36-ounce ribeyes last spring, which, I mean, we sold 495 36-ounce ribeyes in 46 hours here.
That's a whole lot of meat.
That shouldn't happen,
Why?
people.
Why though?
That's 80 full prime ribs. 80 full prime ribs cut down by one guy.
Oh my gosh.
In it. I mean, it's wild. And it's great. And so many people came here. People were driving from hours and hours away. But the learning experience was, that's not really good for this business because our char grill is only this big, and then you have to finish them in the oven, and our oven only has 3 racks, but we're also cooking food for 150 other people.
You're
So-
just
literally
a
taking up,
mess.
taking up half your grill with 2 steaks.
Yeah, and it's then taking up the whole grill because there's so many orders, and you know. But anyway, that was a great one. It's great because it doesn't matter what we do. I know that Bryce is such a master of so many cuisines that, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Where'd you find this guy? Where'd you find Bryce?
So-
How did he get here?
So Bryce and I have been friends for a long time. He was in my wedding. I love him as a human before I do as a chef or an employee or any of that. So that's where it started. And through our 30s, our egos wouldn't mesh for us to work together, you know. And then later on, he ended up coming back into the area because he burned himself out. He
Working
came
for Emerald?
He trained under Emerald at Cafe Giovanni in New Orleans, 1999 through 2004. And after that, he ascended kind of through the ranks of chefs and then worked his way back home. I asked him to come and get me some structure in my kitchen for 3 months. And after he was here for 3 months, I was like,
You're done.
we can't have you leave. So we've been friends forever, and it just, you know, once you get ego out of the way and you realize that that's not what's important.
Yeah.
In Mercer County, PA, not a very populous county in a lot of spots, you have a chef working here who trained under Emerald.
Correct. Yeah.
You're not supposed to have that in this kind of area.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. And that's what, you know, so many people now, you know, with the draw that we're getting is, well, this shouldn't be here. This should be in Chicago. And I said, you're thinking of it all wrong. That's the beauty of it, right? Because we're able to do this in Mercer County where I don't think many would expect.
And you really use that to your advantage with the property.
Yep.
And how much are you adding on?
So in total, we have 9.4 acres.
Okay.
So, and right now we use about 2.1 of it. You know, so all of this is about to come to fruition within the next, 18 to however many months it's going to take us to continue to build it out, but we're just going to continually, just the way that the art in there has grown. So the first time any of the 3 of you had came, there might have been 20% of the art in there, and then it's just, and people dig it, and then we just grow and grow, and
it's nuts how much art you've been able to cram in that place.
Yeah,
and it still looks awesome.
And that's when people. I had always thought that I was not an artistic person to at any value because I couldn't necessarily draw. I wasn't a graphic designer, and any of this, but it never mattered per se.
Yeah.
And then I look what I'm able to put together. So everybody has art in them. It's just in a different way.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know you've mentioned the ramen bar. You've alluded to it, and I'm sure your ideas are going to change 100 times before anything actually goes in. But that 7 acres you have back there behind us, what are some of the ideas that you're throwing around for what could go in there to add to your campus?
Yeah, what's got you excited?
I want to expand exactly what I have here, but into the woods with a low-key family vibe, right? So the idea is that if I can add the parking on the right side of my property, and then start walking trails further back, right? So then walking trails strewn throughout this property with a place for artists to carve somewhere, a place for artists to paint somewhere. And then essentially the center point of the entire thing, early on it was gonna be that I was gonna put an amphitheater of some sort out there. Yeah, being if it was covered, if it was uncovered, unsure. And then I talked to people that know more than I do, which I try to do as frequently as possible. And their idea was to build a huge stage, right? So then you can access the back and front. And the stage goes over a tiny little stream that I have back there, literally no bigger than this at any point. So then this stage, you can access the back, come back and forth, and then we put another pergola structure there. That's where bands play underneath. So then the bands play there, and then that ties all the back. So you can go towards the back, walk through the walking trails to come up, and then everybody that's at the restaurant can then watch music from two ways, you know?
That's incredible. And you're gonna have a massive Yeti?
There'll be some art in the woods.
Okay.
I don't, but yeah, we're not sure. Just like you said, it changes rapidly.
Just imagine that evening though. You come, you get a 5-star meal inside the building. You come out back with a beer to relax. You can go play cornhole, go down a walking trail. Boom, you've got an artist around one corner actively making something.
The next
Go
Yeti.
around the next corner. You've got a concert playing you can watch. Go around the next corner. A guy jumps out in a Yeti costume, scares the heck out of you. You recover, next corner, ramen bar.
Twist,
Right.
it was Talbot.
Twist, it was Talbot the whole time.
The whole time.
And all in Mercer County, Pennsylvania.
And all in
we are.
Mercer County, PA.
Yeah.
So what is, would you say, your favorite part of the growth of this place? Beyond getting to try all these new ideas that kind of Talbot's signature aren't anywhere else in the area.
I got chills when you said it, and I still have them, because I can immediately connect with you, and I don't need to know you. And I just, after you've eaten food, if I stop at your table, I know. You know, you can't, the sincerity of that I can read on people's faces is what I enjoy the most about this business, because our food it touches people at a level that I didn't realize food necessarily did, probably until after we did this the first time. Still growing every day just the same. You know, this is my first restaurant, so I was 39 then, I'm almost 43 now. You know, I've learned a lot in the last 4 years, and you know, when I walk up to a table and I ask how their food is, and even if nothing auditory, it's just a smile, you know what I mean? Like I can
With
see.
stuffed faces.
Yeah,
can
mouth
see.
full of food.
Yeah, I guess it's rewarding in a different way that I didn't know before.
And you can see, for all of you who are on social media, you can go to his Facebook page and see all the stories of people. He likes to share them. The one guy who was going to go to Ruth Chris's Steakhouse
What
ended up coming here and said, I don't need to go anymore.
A gentleman that I've known for a while, his name is Cram. His father-in-law, leukemia, was going to pass away, and he knew, you know, so it was kind of his last trip around the sun, and he was doing as much as he could. And one of his deals was he wanted to go to Ruth Chris. He happened to come here, and he had told him afterwards that he had such a good meal and he was fulfilled in so many ways beyond just the food that he no longer needed to go there, and that I needed to realize that we profoundly affect people here in a different manner than we knew. Like, I mean, I have chills right now just, you know, saying it again. But those are I suppose that's part of growing up as well. When you do realize that, you know, my focus has never been money. When I do this, and I think that's where a lot of this works out really well, you know, because if everything that's done here and it's out in left field, so to speak, is drilled about cost percentages and whatnot, then there's no zest, there's no care, there's no, you know.
There's no fun.
Yeah, there's no fun, and you're making it about something that who cares? You know what I
Right.
mean? Money's necessary, but it's not. You know?
Yeah, it's not why we're here.
Yeah, it's not why you put up art that people don't understand, but the 1 out of 10 that do, that you see, you're like, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to shake your hand again.
Yes.
For everything.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you, guys.
You've been here at this location for like 5 years, right?
Yes.
A little give or take. How do you feel your time before that has played into what you're doing now? And what would you say is like just some defining moments throughout your life that kind of led you to do what you're doing now and have not only the actual atmosphere that you've created, but the mindset behind it?
I think back to some of the education that I've had throughout the entire time, right? So I've spent from 13 to 43 in a restaurant, right? So that's 30 years of thinking that I've dealt with every possible situation, right? And then every day, something new happens that you say possibly couldn't have ever, right?
Yeah.
But in that, and I I bring that story in because that's how you have to keep your cool. You know, like if I don't keep my cool all the time, you know, having a sweet afro, then everybody else can't keep their cool.
That would be cool.
Right, but I'm bald, so I mean, it's never gonna happen. Defining moments, I think it's when I started to grow my hair back.
Yeah, it just happened.
It just happened, and it was great, and it really gave me a lot more
confidence.
Perspective, confidence, and height too. Weirdly,
Height.
I had hit my head often before, and now I find I hit it more often. Yeah,
I mean,
that's the life.
I can understand that.
Could we say knocking some sense into myself?
I like that.
Possibly.
Clever turn of phrase.
We'll see it. We'll see if it happens, though.
We'll see.